Today I'm going to be talking about the book The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy, specifically the chapter on momentum, Big Mo. So he starts off the chapter by talking about how, despite our good intentions, we often fail to incorporate new habits because we don't have a system of execution. We need to execute on our new routines daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly to get the change we desire. He says that a routine is, something that we do without conscious thought, like brushing our teeth. And it really eases life stresses by making our actions automatic and effective. And in order to accomplish our new goals and habits, we have to establish new routines in our lives. So he goes on to give the example of military boot camp and how minor tasks like shining your shoes and making your bed are so important. He says that building routines for these soldiers is the most effective way to elicit efficient, productive, and reliable performance under pressure. These simple routines developed transform these fearful, soft teenagers into lean, confident, strong men. And so these routines are so well rehearsed that they can instinctively act with precision in the middle of chaos and in combat. So they can carry out their duties even under the threat of imminent death. So this just goes to show you how important routines are. So I'm actually going to read this paragraph here because it's just pretty profound. He says, of all the high achievers and business owners I've worked with, I've seen that along with good habits, each has developed routines for accomplishing necessary daily disciplines. It's the only way any of us can predictably regulate our behavior. There simply isn't any way around it. A daily routine built on good habits and disciplines separates the most successful among us from everyone else. A routine is exceptionally powerful. So he goes on to say that you've got to bookend your days. And what that means is you can control what you do in the morning and you can control what you do at night, but often you can't control what happens during the workday. You could go in a million different directions, but he does specific things, specific routines every single morning and every single night that prepare him to be as successful as possible. So once your daily disciplines have become part of your routine, you've executed on them daily, weekly for several months now, and they're just part of what you do, you're really opening yourself up for big mo, for momentum. And what that means is you're going to be putting yourself in a position to be incredibly successful over the long term. He gives an example of a locomotive, a steam locomotive, and how if you put a block of wood in front of it, you can stop it. Like a small little piece of wood, you can stop the entire thing. However, if it's going 55 miles an hour, it can go straight through a 5-foot steel-enforced concrete wall and keep on going forward. That's how powerful momentum is. Darren's got something called registering your rhythm, which is really just a nice phrase for tracking your habits, your new behaviors, your new daily disciplines. It's a sheet where in one column you have all of the new disciplines you want to incorporate in your life, and then you have Monday through Sunday, and you X off the days that you accomplish that task. And then you can really take a look at what you're doing every single week with all of the new habits and behaviors, routines that you want to incorporate in your life. You know where you stand, you know what you're doing right, you know where you're slacking, and this allows you to improve on a weekly basis, on a daily basis, so that you can really be living in line with the life that you would like to live. Darren knew someone who wanted to lose some weight, and he asked him why. He said he wanted to live long enough to see his kids grow up and to see his grandkids. And so he had the idea that, I should just work out 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, and I'm going to do it. But Darren was like, you're not going to last. You're not setting yourself up for success. You need to do what is sustainable over the long term. So Darren told him to do the 2 hours a day, do it for 60 or 90 days, then, come down to an hour 15 a day for another 60 or 90 days, and then take it down to like an hour a day for another few months after that, because you're soon going to realize that you don't have 2 hours a day to work out, and then you're just going to be like, oh, I'm not going to do it. So you have to create habits and routines that are sustainable, that something that you can do every single day without fail, so that you'll create these new routines that really won't be conscious. It will just be like brushing your teeth. And that's going to set you up for success, not trying to go all out for a couple months and then stopping. He says that most of us live our lives in fits and starts. We start a new business, we get a new exercise program, we go out on a couple dates, then we take a vacation, we stop doing those behaviors for whatever reason for a couple weeks, and we don't just lose the progress we would have had over those 2 weeks. We lose Big Mo, and that's a tragedy. He says that success over the long term is all about consistent daily action. It's all about pace. Be the tortoise. Give the right person enough time, and he can beat virtually anybody. Daily, consistent actions are the key to long-term success.